mic. Can you turn the mics down for a second so I can talk to you?
I won the game, girl. I passed all the stages.
I ain't got no people.
We are live.
I ain't got no people.
Yours be late with it though.
Hey, I see one. What up? I don't know who you is.
I need you.
I ain't putting these headphones.
Only one by my side. Can I, baby? Do you right?
What's going on, my people? Come on in.
What up, though? What up,
I
though?
can't share nothing. Out here in the wilderness. Hey, Tamaria. Thanks for the follow on TikTok, too.
It's still a bop though.
Hey, Trina. You on TikTok? Say what's up. Can't see you right now. Wait for us to finish playing the music.
We just letting some people get in here.
I know y'all can't hear the music, so just bear with us, TikTok. We'll get started here in a minute. Y'all gonna have to excuse me today for popping on this gum too. It helps settle my stomach. My stomach was jacked up after we ate it. Trina, are you on Facebook and YouTube, or is this a different Trina that's on YouTube? Let me know. Hey, Nick. Just waiting for some people to come falling up and through here.
What up? What up? What up? Yo, do us a favor. If you're on here right now, do us a favor.
Hey.
Hit the like button.
Okay. Hey, Trina. Sorry. My bad.
Hit the like button. Hit the heart button. Share it. What we're trying to do right now is utilize the algorithm to push this out so we get this content to as many people as possible. So, first of all, thank you for being here. What up? Welcome. Hit the like, share, love. It's not for vain reasons, not for ego, but you know how these algorithms be. If people ain't messing with it, the algorithm will be like, people not feeling this. And we know that ain't the case, okay? So if you on here, go ahead, show us some love.
Hey, Kay, thanks for joining us on YouTube.
Okay, on the tube.
You're on YouTube.
We on YouTube now.
Hey, Tashara. Hey, Brittany. Hey, Candace.
Do I need to be on? Yep, okay. All right, I'll let you figure that out. I don't know.
Thank you.
And I don't see us. We're live on 3 different platforms right now, and we're trying to get this thing together. As always, if you on here right now, and if you've already listened to episode 3, let us know. Okay, if you have listened already, let us know. Have you heard it? If not, no shame. But what's up? What's up? Have you heard it? Episode 3, push the button.
We out here. We out here. Hey, Kari. Thanks for joining us on TikTok. What up? Hey, everybody. Say what's up to us. Your body armor out there in the shop.
That's one of our sponsors.
We wish.
That's one. Oh, there we go. Hey. Okay.
Okay, I got to put my headphones on because it's...
All right. So, yeah, you got to put your headphones. You pulling a little bit. Be careful.
Come on in, peoples. Thank you, Brittany. It's stuck on something. Okay. Uh-oh.
Talk to the people.
They can't hear me.
Yeah, they can.
Mm-mm.
Your headphones aren't on, but your mic. This episode was a little different. okay, it's different because we always deal with stuff in like real time, but this was like real time. Like when we recorded that episode, we had just come back from one of our premarital counseling sessions, and I think we did good by like playing through, but it was a little tension. It's been tension throughout like our premarital counseling.
I be forgetting which episode it is. I'm like, no, it wasn't, but that's the one we just filmed.
Push the button. Yep.
So, we had to film. So we talked about it in the beginning, but we had to film that episode because the previous episode that we had loaded up and ready to go actually didn't record. So we weren't even like planning to record that episode right after our marriage counseling session. And yeah, I don't think it showed that there was like tension. But
yeah,
it wasn't even tension. It was just, we had talked about some heavy stuff and then had to come and put on a brave face.
So let me ask you this. For those of y'all who are on here right now, let's turn this into like one big old support group across a couple different platforms. Okay. So for those of y'all who have had long-term relationships, marriages, I want to start with this. You guys have clear-cut roles? Because money was one of the things, and we talked about it in the episode, that this is a problem.
Candy says she on Facebook and YouTube, Facebook on her phone and YouTube on the computer. She says, I don't have TikTok, and I'm pretty sure I'm spelling wrong. TIK. TOK.
So there's a couple people who said they watched and they heard and they loved it.
Thank you. Hey, Tiara, how are you?
Danielle on here. What up? What up? So yeah, first thing we dealt with was money, and that was an issue. Show of hands, put the hand emoji in the chat if you've ever combined incomes or had like a shared account with a significant other in a relationship. Show of hands if that's you, because I'm trying to figure out if I'm the only person who was struggling here.
Who is struggling with what? With me?
Finances. And I'm trying to be nice because you were the one that was struggling.
Listen, you gotta be nice. I said it on the episode. I was struggling. I didn't want to put our money together, but I did it for the betterment of the group. One band, one sound. You can't see me?
Yeah, I'm just looking at Mike Stan. Oh. So Tamara, Trina, Rai G out here sharing accounts.
Listen, Tiara says she has too. So what was your experience with that? Like, so I'm assuming like for people who did it and they weren't married, how does that work when you like break up? I've never shared an account with somebody that I wasn't, well, I mean, until Russell, but we're engaged, but that I wasn't like married to. So just me with my money issues, I don't recommend that. That just seemed messy. that seemed like a recipe for a disaster. So I need to know how that worked out for y'all.
Hey, yo, look, we got some comments that I have to read. So
okay.
Trina says we have a savings account that we both put a certain amount in from each checks, and we have our own separate accounts. It works pretty well. That's similar to what we do.
Tiara on TikTok said it's definitely her and it's a scary situation.
It's real scary. Candace said, definitely not simple. I'm here for the advice. Racy said, I was so surprised that you two combined money before combining living spaces and bodies.
Come on. Okay. That's a great point. Mm-hmm. Because to me, when he came to me with the idea, it did seem very out of the blue. Now, in his head, he has the ring. He knows he's going to propose, so it makes logical sense, right? In my head, it doesn't make logical sense. It's just like, we're in a serious relationship. I know I love him. I know he's the man I want to spend the rest of my life with. But like, why you want to combine incomes? And so I was like, I don't like the way this feels. I don't want to lose like myself and trying to share money and trying to figure it out. And because we were living separately, it was like, how am I going to pay my bills and you pay your bills? And we know when each other is doing that and we don't end up in the negative. So it was like all of this stuff that was playing in my mind. But Racy, that's a great point. We did it. We making it work.
Well, let me get some context to that, because I was aware like that was a wild idea, right? But remember, it was January 1st of 2020. When did I post that picture?
What picture?
The picture.
Oh yeah, it was my birthday. So 2021.
No, it's 2020, right?
No, we started kicking it in 2020. So it was January 2021.
January 1st of 2021 was like the first time we even said, hey world, like we together.
We're a thing.
Right? It's 2022. Literally, we want to make sure stuff is right. In my mind, the work has to be more extreme, right? Like if I plan on running a marathon in the next 3 months, that kind of changes what my next 3 months look like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I want to be ready for this is trash, or yo, I got an issue here. And to that point, it was a lot that was revealed that we were able to work through before we get married. Now, I'm not saying I recommend that. That's not my advice, right? That's not my advice. But we both have been married before. We both had an understanding. Yeah, we both understood how much money plays a factor in relationships. So I'm like, yo, look, I know this is where I want to be at. You know this is where you want to be at. You don't know it, but I've already put a big investment into this relationship.
I didn't know he had about a boulder. So
I was like, yo, I need to see this payment coming out every check. So I got a great idea. I'm gonna get ahead of the curve, you know?
No, so Tierra on TikTok, he wanted all the money. She said when she put in the majority of the money in the account, never again unless we are married.
Yo, that's real.
I've heard horror stories about that. So Judge Judy is one of my all-time favorite TV shows. And so people a lot of times come to her show after dating for a long time. They've done everything that married people do except for get married, right? So they've combined incomes, they bought property, they did all these things. And she be looking at them like, what you want me to do? We have a situation that y'all can't get out of. So y'all either figure it out, sheesh, or be stuck.
Yeah, I don't recommend that. I'm not saying like, hey, this is what everybody should do. It's something that worked for us, and I see the benefit that it has. Like, yeah, I know when we get married, there's an understanding that I already have about money with her that I wouldn't have had we not done this.
And had we not done counseling, exponential, because he could feel that I had an issue with bridging our accounts together. And I, like he said on the episode, I was making little comments like, since we got together, all the extra money that I had been gone. You know what I'm saying? So like,
hey, yo, look, let me tell you this. Andy's like so blunt.
I am.
So I didn't know that there were things, and maybe because she just knows I'm a little more sensitive. So maybe she's like, I'm not even going to step all the way into this because I know I don't want to. Look, I ain't never had these problems before we shared accounts. So I'm like, what you trying to say?
Trying to say you the problem. That's what I'm trying to say.
Look, I be trying not to get triggered, but it helped us, right? This is what y'all don't know about Brandy, okay? Let her job.
First of all, stop telling people that.
Brandy got money. So she does well at her job, right? So she has not, to the degree that I have had to be so careful, right?
First of all, I was a whole single mom with Medicaid in subsidized housing.
In the middle of a thought. I'm talking about
how to be careful.
I think you forgot. You must have forgotten. I don't know. But me, I'm for a large portion of it goes from me eating steak and chicken to ramen noodles, and who wants to do that? You know what I'm saying? So, when we combine incomes, like we were like, yo, we did a budget, and we did like a little soft budget of like, what does our finances look like at the end of the month? This is what I make. This is what you make. These are your bills. This is my bills. Oh, what? We finna be.
I think but
we did it again budget, after that.
Yeah, but like
we still was good.
We was good, but we wasn't as good. And then we started eating.
Nah, look. The only issues we had was spending habits.
Yeah.
Right.
Credit card. And I don't think maybe down the road, like
not like personal stuff. I'm talking about for the business.
Yeah.
Why you look at me like that? Like,
You trying to mess up my credit score?
One step at a time. John Johnson said, we didn't get a joint account until we got engaged, and it was only for the wedding. Now it's the joint account. We pay bills.
Hard,
it's a skill.
It's hard.
Racy said, laughed my butt off. I don't know what the was for. We probably started
nitpicking. When we start talking about that credit card.
Oh, Lord. That part. So
hey, Alethea.
What other areas was it? So there was finances. What other stuff that we bump heads on? Was it kid stuff?
No, the kids, like, literally. So when we were dating, how they would deal with both of us moving on. And the kids, like, they've been literally the best part of this whole thing. Like, they're good. We've had issues with everything else. Money, exes, context, like how we just view. Man, when you in the room and you got somebody pressuring you to talk and express your feelings, which for me ain't the best. Like, when I feel like I'm being pushed in the corner to express myself, I'm either gonna spew or I'm gonna shut down.
Yeah, and we had this habit, right? And I'm curious as to what y'all habits are, but we had this habit of, like, when we walk up on, she was reacting to the credit card.
Wait a minute. Live, give me a shout out, please. Hey, Cinco, we were just talking about you.
What was this?
It's Cinco. He on YouTube.
Oh, Lord. What up, son?
What up, Cinco?
I don't remember what I said. Oh, yeah, nah. We had this habit of, like, when we were getting into it, or when there was something that, like, felt...
Really just stop talking about whatever it was.
Well, no, like, take, for instance, the church thing, like, deciding where we want to go to church at.
So, Racy says that, I was wondering about the worshiping 2 great churches, and how do you choose?
Yeah, so I think was like...
I ain't for all that.
No, but she was really involved at her home church, right? Like, and she just didn't see that. And I know, like, I don't know if y'all know Brandy like that. If you don't, let me give you context. I fully believe that if I was like, yo, this is important to me, like, this is really what I want, I think she would have done it.
Yes, I would have.
But she would have just been sitting there, like, I'm like complaining, like, you're not. She'll do things like for the greater good, but ultimately, like, she's not going to be invested, and she's not going to buy into something that she's not choosing herself, or something that she's not seeing the benefit in for herself. So I didn't push it. I never even played the, like, hey, I'm the man, I want you to come with me card. I'm like, nah, like, let's open, let's talk about it. And we will walk right up to that point and, like, well, you're still there, I'm still here, okay.
And we had, for the most part, we had gotten to the point where we just stopped talking about that altogether. Like, we said we were going to be in prayer about it. And when God parted the sea and said, you going to go here or you going to go here, then that would be the answer, and nobody would have anything to say about it.
Yeah.
God usually doesn't move like that. But we were expecting a miracle. At least I was, because I wasn't ready to go. I was comfortable where I was.
God, make him leave his church.
And I was like, listen. And it was just literally, was it last week? I feel like it was like last weekend or something, 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
We had just ended a counseling session, and we had just brought it to his pastor. Like, hey, you thought that we were just going to come to his church.
Yeah.
Like, I think most people make that assumption. Like, you get married, you go where your husband is. And so he was just talking to us in very casual conversation. He's like, yeah, when people tell me that they're waiting to hear from God for a particular situation, like, I always challenge them and ask them, like, well, how do you know when God has spoken? Like, how do you know when he's giving you an answer? And for us, or at least for me, I was expecting him God to say, you're going to go to Kingdom Life. Like, that was the only way that I was budging. And that was the first time that somebody had challenged that. And I started to think, like, has God spoken to me in any other way like that? The answer is no. Like, there are nudgings. There's a revelation that I get from reading the Bible, or somebody will come speak to me. But it's never been like a literal statement of telling me what to do when I put a question out to him. It's usually something that I have to decipher and that I have to pray about. And so I changed the question that I asked God, and I asked him, why don't I reveal to me why I don't want to go there? And every reason that I could think of was based out of fear. And he basically was like, took me to the scripture. God has not given us the spirit of fear. And I was like, I know that if it's fear, it's able to drop that. I saw clearly that that's where I needed to be, not necessarily for me. I do think that there is something there. I'm gonna be no.
Yeah, what is? Look at you doing too much. Yeah, your light done crashed and fell over.
Y'all know I be fooling. I done locked my light over. But anyways, if y'all don't know, that was a little old to Kanye West.
Yeah.
I just got done watching the Genius documentary. So
far, we're not gonna turn down the street because this whole thing will be about Kanye West. But yeah, that was something we had to work through. So we got a couple comments. Okay. Ella said, "Have you shared who is counseling you all?" So we actually did two different sessions, right? We did counseling with her, Pastor and First Lady, season of the double. And it was good. It worked out well for us. And once again, like our engagement was short. It's moving quickly. So we just wanted to do the work. We like, look, if it's something we not seeing, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I was cocky. I went in there like, we talk about relationships every week. Sometimes we go have arguments after the fact, like what they gonna say that we ain't already talked about. I was really going in there to stunt, like, oh yeah, we've talked about that. Oh yeah, I know about that. So wrong. So wrong. Like, couldn't be more wrong. Was in there arguing. Tense. There was one time I forgot we was in counseling. Me and her got to talking, and then when I said, I was like, oh wow, yep.
He stood, and the funny thing
forgot where we was at.
Like, with my pastor and First Lady, that would have never been an issue. Like, they would have interjected and tried to get us to come to an even keel point. And this is not a slight to any of them, but it's just the different ways that they operate. His pastor sat there and let us go through the whole thing, and then was like, let me just like fall back from it. It was also just good for him to see how we work through things or don't work through things when we get in tense moments. So it's been really good. I ain't gonna lie, we're done with my pastor and First Lady, and so we only see his now on Thursdays. And I be dreading Thursdays.
You be dreading
I be dreading it. I be going in there like, all right, God, we ask that you don't leave no stone unturned. So
what we
gonna talk about sex? Because right now,
I'm ready for that conversation. That's gonna be easy. Like, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man.
But it has been anything but easy. But it's been worth it.
That part. So I think for me, I thought that because we weren't arguing, that we were doing good. Like, all right, we got to a point, all right, we're not going to argue. This is good. Like, let's split this up in two categories, right? So I'm going to give you the first category. The first category is silence, right? Now, it could be literal silence where you're just shut down and don't say anything. Or is it, I'm not expressing my issue, but then I get a little passive aggressive where I'm not saying what my issue is completely, but I'm just giving you little subtle shots to let you know I'm not really feeling you or what you on right now. Or maybe you're the type that like is like, you tend to people please, so you'll swallow your needs to just get past the situation. And that's silence. And then the other category is violence.
Oh, Lord.
So there's silence and there's violence. Now, there is the violence that's just literally like, I'm about to turn up. I'm going to break something. I'm going to yell at you. That's the violence category. But then there's also like the blunt, I'm going to say what I mean with no care for tact or how it may make you feel. But I'm going to give you this raw, unfiltered perspective that I have. I want to know if you want to hear right now, put in the chat either silence.
You choose silence or violence.
Silence or violence.
I'm both.
It depends on the situation. Like, I start off on silence, and my silence is real. Like, you know me, I'm really, my silence is really chill. Like, I'm not gonna push it too much. But once I go over that line, oh no, these words gonna catch you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna hit you. I'm not gonna throw nothing. I'm not breaking nothing. I'm not physical. But verbally, I can get pretty reckless.
I'm both in the same argument. Like, I'm gonna say everything I want to say, and then I'm just gonna be quiet. You're gonna get a silent treatment. Like, now what? Don't say nothing. Okay, thank you.
Yo, Jeanette said, this is so awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rice said, it's unhealthy, but I'm the silent one. I feel you, bro. Shout out to the silence joints. I'm going to put us in two categories. I know we can be both, but I think I lean more to silence. What do you think? What's your default setting?
I always choose violence.
So, silence, violence. Okay.
No.
What's the lights? All right. You read the rest of it.
Tierra says, she gonna say it. She says, definitely I'm the last one. I'm sorry, I have to say it for my health.
That's TikTok?
She's on TikTok.
What up, Tierra?
And let's see, who do we have here? Candace. Wait a minute. I'm missing a bunch of comments.
Yeah, I got
Ella
you.
says, I'm flipping tables. Period. Poo. Candace says silence. Racy says, I'm going to voice it, but I'm not violent. I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's Racy's daughter. She said both. Trina says silence. Tashara said, I plead the fifth. Listen, do what's best. Tamaria says, I'm silent. I shut down. 0 to 100, then back to 0. Yeah, that's me. Passive aggressive, but violently. Words cut deep. Yes, they do. Kayla says both. Silence with some subconscious punishment, or I will let it all out and hurt feelings. Shayla says, I like to discuss the matter at hand, and if we agree to come back to it, it has to be in a timely manner in order to move forward. And Danielle says both. So naturally, I think I'm like Shayla, but I do that without communicating. So like, I think that I'll be like, yo, I don't want to talk about this right now in my head, but my actions are just like shutting down. And then whoever I'm with, AKA him, will continue to push me to talk. And then when he pushes me to talk, like, no, like, we just need to get it out on the table. Like, I can't deal with this awkwardness and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Then I'm like, oh, okay. You want me to talk?
So for me, and I want to know how y'all feel about this. I want to know if y'all feel me, if y'all don't feel me, where y'all land on this. If we in the same space together, we gonna be in the same room. Who wants to just sit here in painful like bitterness? Like, if it's something I feel like we can talk through, or at least get to like a basic understanding. If it's gonna be something, like, let it be something. But I can't do this avoiding, and now we just sitting here bitter. Like, okay, look, fam. I can't just sit here. Like, I'm not watching the show. It's on, but I'm not watching the show. We sitting here on our phones on two separate sides of the couch. Let's just do this.
See, and me, I'm totally opposite like that. Like, I can completely go on with my day.
Go to sleep all peacefully.
I'm like, you mad? So I'm about to go to sleep.
You mad too. Just peaceful in the chaos. Like, how do you sleep with anger? I can't. I'm not built for that.
I don't know. And the thing is, it's like that with you, because now when I say I'm always gonna choose violence, in any other situation, like, I'm with Ella. I'm about to flip some tables. I'm about to wild out.
I'm really glad I got the evolved version of you, right? I'm not built for that. Like, I'm gonna just be sitting there like this. Really? You gonna do that to the lamp?
Okay, Leah, I got you. Shayla says silence is a form of abuse. Ooh.
It is.
And Danielle says, in my marriage, it's only ever been some form of silence. In past relationships, violence was always my first choice. And Janetta says, talk it out, never go to bed mad. Like, I done said this a million times, but me and Danielle's like my spirit animal. We get each other. She's my sister from another mister. Like, we be on that same stuff.
Yeah.
So now I choose silence.
Don't call her when you...
No, she definitely no.
When you
but
get escalated, don't call her.
One thing about my friends is they gonna call me out.
They gonna call you.
They gonna call me out.
Nah, but if you justify, they're gonna be like, girl, you right. Go cut it.
100%.
Go flip that table.
100%.
Let them know you mean business.
They all ride or die. It says Aaron says Brandy, Jay is the exact same way. Jay is my brother, and it makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. I get it. I can see how that happened. For sure. So yeah, this is why I think it's important and it's valuable. And it's a term we keep using, do the work, right?
Thank you for sending us the TikTok universe. I'm sorry, we getting gifts. So
we getting gifts?
Thank you.
Shout out. Thank you, TikTok. Is that money?
Can you fucking...
Wait, some of them gifts be money. We can... Oh, that's what's up. Hey, put the Cash App on there.
Thank you.
Right,
Thank you so much.
What was I saying?
I don't know where you was
You
going
don't
with
be
that.
listening to me. I be in the middle of a sentence. Thank you.
Listen, I'm trying to acknowledge, okay?
It's all good.
I'm multitasking.
No. Oh yeah. Do the work, right? Like you have to do the work. And by do
Thank you for the gift.
we not even have a conversation right now. No,
Listen,
we not.
go
You know
ahead.
what I say? What I just say?
You said do the work.
You irritating. You got to do the work. You got to have the uncomfortable conversations, right?
Absolutely.
Like I'm one that I don't like tension. I don't like confrontation. I don't know how to handle it. Either I'm like trying to be the nice guy, or once I flip that switch, then it's like, okay, now I'm emotional and I'm about to show. I'm not gonna leave the situation hurt. You gonna leave the situation hurt. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that. And it's hard to navigate that, especially for like when you're emotional. I'm sensitive. Mm-hmm. So when I get emotional, it's like the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? You can't control that. The waves gonna be what they gonna be. You know what I mean? I don't know how it's gonna hit the shore, but they coming. You know what I mean? So, but when you don't know how to navigate that, that's why I was glad, because in my mind before therapy, I didn't know what it looked like
for us to argue. Yeah. Because we never would let ourselves get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Michael. So what would happen was, and for me, like, I know what's inside of me too. So we're both very expressive, right? And we both have this vernacular and this vocabulary that, like, we can cuss you out without really cussing you out, and we can make you, me and you, when we get to that point, not with each other, but we both have it in us that, like, our mouths are very vicious. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? So I think me personally, I know how that has affected past relationships. So I try really hard not to go there with you. Now, we are learning tools in therapy that will hopefully help us from ever going there.
Yeah.
But it's in both of us, and it's something that we're conscious of. And I think that's why when we get into those spaces where it's uncomfortable, we're like, nope, not gonna do that.
Tierra said it's the facial expression as well. Hold on, wait, because that you spitting. I need to know something. When we get in those spaces, what are the things that I do that trigger you? When she said facial expressions, I saw you in my head. Like when I say something, you're like,
that's me. I'm very expressive on my face.
Is there anything I say? Is there like you do this thing? I'll start first, so it gives you motivation to lean into this.
I think you just got a bunch of stuff you ready to say.
It's just one. You say again.
Oh, that's my word cuss out.
Oh, I hate it. Like, first of all, why are you talking to me like we're in a board meeting? So I see you like trying to control your emotions, and you're like, again, like I said, I'm trying to be more conscious, but if you yada, 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 so then I say something, but blah, 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 blah. You go
again. What I said was
again. Say again, right? Say again.
I hate repeating myself.
But why do you do it so much?
Because you be acting like you don't understand me.
You don't be making sense. And just because you say again, don't make it make no more sense. Again, I'm going to repeat the same thing that you don't understand. I didn't get it the first time.
I be making sense. You just don't. You don't be trying to understand me. Anyways, but I don't think there's anything that you do that triggers me. I think it's more of a tone with you. Like, I don't like to feel like I'm being parented. And I think that comes off a lot with you. Like, you sometimes will be like, you'll apologize and then be like, you ain't got nothing to say. Like, if I'm going to apologize, let me apologize. Don't be inviting me to apologize.
I'm one of the people that apologize for the apology.
Yeah, I know. Hey,
look, you know what? If I'm not understanding you, I'm sorry. I love you. And then once I'm done saying that, you like this.
You ain't got nothing you want to say, or this would have been a great space for you to acknowledge the stuff that you did wrong. I'm like, look, I'm gonna get there, let me get there on my own time.
Stop.
That's what irritates me.
I'm gonna just stop. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna keep it nice and cantankerous in this mug.
Anyway, so we missing some comments. Russ, who should be? Who? Yeah.
This one here, Queen facial expressions.
The facial expressions are a whole trigger. Same. It's like the I definitely. So one thing that I do is, like, when he's talking sometimes and I have like a counterpoint,
she's not listening.
It bubbles inside of me. It's like, say it. But I'm learning to not interrupt him so much. So then it comes out in like my body language. I get to sitting up on the couch, throwing my hands around, I'm like, because I'm really trying to stop myself from being
when
like,
you could tell somebody, watch your mouth. It's a family platform. Look here. Look. Brandy do that thing where she don't really be listening to you. Like, she's waiting for you to stop talking because she got one in the clip already. Low key, she just stopped talking to give you a little space to say something. But she's not hearing nothing I'm saying. Just wah, 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 wah.
I done honed in on this one specific part and I'm about to attack the mess out of that.
Again.
Yeah. So anyways, we are learning tools to deal with that. But before going to counseling, before pushing those buttons, the door was just closed. Like, we weren't even getting to a place where we broached that space. So now, like, that we know we can argue and things can still be okay, we be going in.
Facts.
Go ahead.
I'll read some comments. Ash said, in previous relationships, I would always be silent and passive. So you could do whatever, and I just shrug it off. And that caused a lot of confusion in my relationships with exes because they would wonder if I cared or if I was going to blow up at a later date. But nope. Lauren Harrell said, she said, that's like saying per my last email.
Listen, I be at work, and so I think
I hate it.
She had made a comment earlier. She says, I choose silence first. If I'm pushed to communicate when I'm not ready, I choose ugly violence. Just let me process everything for a minute. Chances are I'll be more rational and not so emotional. So I think that's what I've explained to you. Like, I just be needing a minute. And so we've determined what needing a minute looks like to me. So there are certain things that I do. Like, I'll go get in the bath, or my number one thing is, like, I start cleaning.
Hey.
If we in a tense moment and I start cleaning, just leave me alone.
Hey, yo, here's the thing. I don't even be knowing. There was a couple times I didn't even know that it was an issue. I just knew that this countertop was getting the business, dog. Like, I'm like, yo, the way that she's wiping this table, I'm sitting like, hey, babe, can you give me some juice? Oh, it's a problem. Okay, all right. I get it. I'm with you. My bad. I'll shut up. Like, I want to know, what are your argument triggers? What's the stuff that really gets you? I heard a couple people saying they hate repeating themselves. Is it tone? And I want to know, what are the things you do that you're aware of that are triggers for other people? Is it a louder voice? Do you raise your voice? Is it condescending tone? Yeah. Is it shutting down? Like, what are the things that you know you do when you get triggered dealing with your significant other?
That make you be like, oh, he done that. So while we're waiting on your responses, we have another request for a shout out for Miss Lily Hable. How are you? We love you and we miss y'all, and y'all need to get ready for bed.
That part, what time is it? Y'all need to be getting ready for school. Y'all the only ones on YouTube. Lily wants a shout out. What up, Lily? What up, boo boo? Hey, Daddy, my field trip to Parkside is tomorrow. Okay, all right. It's okay. Lord.
So cleaning. Ella says cleaning. Me too. Tierra says it's a woman's stress reliever. Cleaning, get out of my face. And I'm listening to my music.
Fellas, what we do? We just be mad.
I just be stuck.
Sit
on the couch and don't move.
I don't really got that. I don't play video games. Like that's most of the homies I know. Like they go to the video game. Maybe mine's music. I like driving too.
Yeah.
Like if I get in the car and I'm driving, I'm just listening to music. That's a stress reliever for me.
Yeah, mine's cleaning and taking a bath or going to the store. Like if I go to Target, if things are going crazy in the house, that's one of the things that I do. Like I gotta go to the store. I just need to get out. I don't need nothing, but I just gotta go. So I go walk around Target and
come back with a Coca-Cola.
What were you doing? I was relieving myself. Stressing me out.
Condescending tone. I may make you feel really small. I'm doing better. Lamar, definitely Call of Duty. Bryce said, I was told today I rolled my eyes and shrugged my eyebrows twice. What the heck? If y'all see rocking shades, if y'all see me rocking shades 24/7, y'all know why.
Wait, you roll your... So I'm an eye roller, but I roll my eyes in a multitude of situations. It is no indication of how I'm feeling.
Wrong.
Shrug your eyeballs. No, listen, when I'm irritated, I roll my eyes. When I'm cool and I'm just chilling, I roll my eyes.
Support that. But this is what you don't know. There's different eye rolls. Like you're like if I say, ooh, babe, you look good today. Boy, like there's the stop eye roll. That one right there. All right. And then when there's the, hey, I thought we talked about this. And it's a different one. It's like they're different eye rolls. You got a couple in the belt. I don't think
I'm rolling my eyes, but like when it's stuff like that, I'd be trying to clear my brain. Like, is this
we've already established you don't know what those eyes are doing.
I'm like, what is he talking about? Like, why are we talking about this?
No, the eyes they do what they want. You don't control them; they control you.
So Candace says, I chew my lip. Ooh, that sounds painful. What you mean you chew your lip? Right. I didn't do nothing. I was smooth, but she felt like I had an attitude.
Man, hey, that's another thing. Now that's rare that's a dude, but girls be doing that like sneak attitude, where you be like, "What's wrong?" Nothing. And what's up with that? When something's wrong, say what it is. Like clearly you're showing that something's up, but you don't want to say nothing, so you're just like, "What's wrong?" Nothing.
Maybe maybe we don't want to talk about it, or like Monica, it's just one of them days. Like, just leave me alone.
Like Monica,
yeah. Like. No, nothing got to be wrong because I'm not jumping around the house smiling and
but you know the difference. There's a difference.
There ain't nothing wrong.
It's a difference. I wouldn't even talk about you. Look at you.
I'm saying. You said women. I'm a woman. I'm answering your question. When we say nothing, it's usually something. But if we say nothing, just pretend like it ain't nothing and move on until we ready to talk about it.
Y'all remember that because then when it's on the other foot, what's wrong with you? Oh wait, yo. I think we talked about this one time.
Hold on. Trina says, I'm irritated with my spouse. I'm going to clean aggressively and then get online and put some damage on the Express credit card.
Oh, Lord. Yo,
are you trying to start a fight?
You chose violence. I see. You chose violence. I see. Clearly. But once again, like these were all things that we had no choice but to like look into in counseling. And we're still going through it. Once again, tomorrow's Thursday. We're going to be right back in the gym putting up jumpers, like trying to get this thing together.
Y'all pray for us.
But honestly though, it was touch and go for a minute. But the last one, I felt really good, right?
I think you finally expressed your true feelings.
But not just that, but like I think I had forgot that this is what it looks like. You know what I mean? In my mind, like when stuff is working, it's just sunshine, rainbows, holding hands and, you know, skipping through the sunshine. And that's not what it is, right? Like realistically, it is impossible to live life with somebody on a day-to-day basis and be under the assumption that every day is going to be good.
Yeah.
There's going to be times when you irritated with me. Maybe you don't want to be in the same room with me right now. Like that's normal and natural, right? And when those moments happen, it's not an indication that something's wrong. It's just an indication that you have feelings and emotions. But as long as you can work through those, that's where the money's at.
Yeah.
And I didn't learn. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't have that skill. I didn't have it. I avoided conflict altogether.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And this is the dope thing. There's this, the counseling we do with my pastor and first lady, it's a curriculum. It's like a book. It's got books. It's got a test that we took, a SAT that we took. We sit down like, what is this? What y'all got us doing? But when I say it just is so accurate, like I thought the way I was just the way I was because then I look back like, oh, wait, hold on. Nah. Like you want this because this is how you were born or this is important to you because it was something you never got when you were growing up.
Yeah, even like it's down to like hugs, like or being affectionate. Yeah. You think like your love language. Why is your love language the way it is? Like this assessment literally broke down like those styles, and then as we're talking through, we're like, yo, I'm like this because this is what I didn't get. Like for me, Russell's very huggy, touchy, feely, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not. And we talked about it before where like sometimes he'll come in and I'll immediately like freeze up. And it's because I didn't see that. Like my family's not affectionate and I don't really know what affection looks like coming from a man. So he's really the first person that was really like all about me, all over me in life. You know what I'm saying? Like I know my grandpa loved me. My uncles were very loving, but it looked different in my family. So for somebody like him who's coming in and shows love in that way, it was like, oh, that's why, because this is foreign to me. Like men don't hug and kiss, and you know what I'm saying? So now that he's coming with that, I have to adjust my mindset on what affection looks like coming from a man, because all of my life it only looked one way. And that's something that we didn't really uncover until we started counseling. And then Russell has a bunch of caution flags that we're going to come back and talk to y'all about too in one of these episodes.
Yo, facts. So there was this thing that said, like, what are the things that trigger you in relationships? Mine was, I can't remember what mine were. There was a couple of them. I think one was
unhealthy online habits,
addiction. You just saying that I gotta give context because you just saying something that makes me feel like
that's what the assessment said.
So here's, let me get some context. So, I cannot socially drink, right? It's something that I discovered. And I don't think I realized it because my relationship with alcohol is just what it's been. And I didn't know that it was different from other people's. To me, alcoholism looked a certain way, right? It looks like I gotta drink. But it wasn't until I started talking to people and they were like, yo, you just drink by yourself? Yeah. Like get drunk? Yeah. Yo, that ain't normal, bro. You know what I'm saying? But to me, because like, I didn't do it all the time. And maybe been like, okay, every weekend, like on a Friday, I might do it. To me, I thought it was acceptable. But I know that drinking was never a thing for me, right? Like growing up, like in college, like I dibbled and dabbled, but I didn't really mess with it. When I started, towards the end of my last marriage, I would like sneak drink. I was a preacher, knew I shouldn't be getting drunk. And I don't even know why I did it. It wasn't like I'm stressed about to go get a drink. I just one day was like, yeah, I wonder what it'd be like to drink. And I can't remember what I got. Like I don't even know nothing about no liquor. I probably got some like some real terrible stuff.
211.
So 211 or something. And I'm just driving around the block, finishing my drink before, I got into the house and like fell asleep on the couch. And it stopped there. Like once my marriage ended and I left, it wasn't a thing. Socially, if I went to a party somewhere, I was hanging with the homies, I would. But then as time went on, it got more and more unhealthy. But to me, I didn't identify as like, okay, Russ, you have an addictive personality. So it was that and energy drinks. So right when I stopped trying to drink, then it was like energy drinks. And I was fiending for them boys, right? Nas, Red Bull, Monster, whatever. Like I couldn't know why. Like I needed caffeine. And it vexed her so much. And I did not know why. There was a a thing that said like, what are our things that we have issues with? Hers was partner habits. Like her issue in a relationship was like my habits. And I'm like, yo, I stopped drinking. I'm not drinking anymore. Like, yeah, maybe like Red Bulls aren't the healthiest thing, but why does it vex you that much? Like if you see a Red Bull can in my car, it's like, why you still drinking Red Bulls? Why you doing this? Your heart. You know like, why are you so passionate about this? But when we looked at our family of origin, then it unpacks, okay, Russell, this is why liquor means what it means to you, right? Then when we pan over to Brandy, then when we look at her family of origin, all the areas in which I dealt with addiction were areas in which she had to be, I want to tell you a story, but.
Well, specifically as it relates to alcoholism and addiction, I was overly concerned about him drinking, not alcohol, kind of, but I thought he was still sneak drinking. So like that was coming out, and I'm like, I would hug him sometimes, and I'm like, why you smell like liquor? But the energy drinks and things like that, I was worried for him. I literally would have visions of him like, oh, I'm just gonna have this little Red Bull, having a heart attack and dying. And my grandfather was an alcoholic. And he's the closest man that I had to me in my life, loving male figure, closest thing to a father that I had. And he was an alcoholic. He drunk up until until the doctors told him, if you don't stop, you're going to die. He ended up getting liver cancer and he ended up dying. And the pastor asked us, like, he asked me, Brandy, okay, so your issues with like him drinking, is it because, do you think that liquor contributed to your grandfather's death? And I was like, I know it did. Like, he had cirrhosis of the liver, he had cancer. Like, yes, I know he did. It did. And he was like, so is that why, Russell, drinking bothers you so much? Would have made that connection otherwise, but it was like a light bulb to me. Like, him drinking alcohol or drinking Red means that he's gonna die to me. And I know, and when I say it out loud, it seems irrational. But because that's the context that I'm bringing in a relationship, and that's the baggage that I carry in my heart from my grandfather's death, I was projecting that onto him. Now, he shouldn't be drinking, obviously, and he doesn't anymore. But it was so important to me that he saw the error in his ways. And so when it said my caution flag is partner habits, I can see why the little things that he does irritate me so bad. I was like, oh, now it makes complete sense.
Yeah. And I think when you don't understand where it comes from, it's harder to deal with, right? So for me, there were I stopped drinking. Like when we got together early, like I think the first time you came over my apartment, I think I had some wine in the fridge. Mm-hmm. I was like, yo, you want to try it? You're like, nah, I don't drink. Like, I was like, okay. The next day I poured it out. I haven't drunk. I think I tried one more time after that. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm trying to make fetch happen. I'm trying to force it. And like, literally, like, why? And I haven't drunk. So then when I might come over and I give her a kiss and she's like, yo, you smell like liquor. I'm like, huh? you smell like liquor. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I haven't drunk anything. And to me, it's triggering to me because, you know, I have context in family that deals with alcoholism, and it's affected me in a way. It's like, y'all know, like, don't put that on me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, when I didn't know where that came from, when I didn't know that she's connecting my habits or something that she's seen me, that it's related to something she's dealt with, you know, with the male figure in her life. When I don't understand that, it just looks like, yo, hop off.
Yeah.
Like, yo, back off. I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's important to have those conversations like, yo, this is my context. This is what I've dealt with. This is how I grew up. This is the environment I grew up in. And because of that, this is why I can't deal with this or I can't tolerate that. And it makes it easier on how to like navigate those waters. But I'm telling you, I had no idea that when we signed up for marriage counseling that it was going to be this. I thought it was going to be like, hey, so, you know, what's your idea about money?
And it set a false expectation for us too, because first day we walked in after taking the assessment, the first thing that he shows us is like this meter from like red to green that shows, based on the questions that we answer in the assessment, how successful it predicts our marriage to be. And we were like 2 notches away from the highest score that you could get.
I was like,
so that boosted our ego a little bit even more. Like, we about to smoke
of
this.
Course.
Everything y'all bring up, yep, we done already talked about it. No, we don't have a problem with that. Turns out it was all false, and we had a bunch of issues that we needed to talk about. Sheesh. But we're making our way through them. And that's the ribbon that we put on that.
In the last session, I think is when it hit me like, yo, this is why we're gonna win, and this is why our relationship is going to be fruitful,
yes,
and it's going to bear fruit, is because we're not shying away from having the difficult conversations, and everything that has something to do with our success in living a life that's happy and being fulfilled in this relationship, we're running towards it, sprinting towards it.
Yeah.
And if we keep this energy, like, it's ain't no way. Like, it's going to be everything we want it to be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Come here, high five. My dog. You can't look. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So we talked about the episode. We've talked about more than the episode. Let's get to the good stuff. Number 1, we need to address the elephant in the room. We call this whole episode "Push the Button."
Oh yeah.
We talked about
Brandy Brandy's pregnant.
Stop doing that. I'm not pregnant. And somebody gonna say this little sound clip.
You're right. I'm just playing.
And it's gonna be a whole issue. Stop saying that.
I did that in one of our counseling sessions, and the pastor almost passed out. I was the only person that thought it was funny, but it was hilarious.
Thank you for the TikTok universe. So yes. So we argued, we discussed who forgot to push the button. I was wrong in the fact that the audio was not on the entire time. So the verdict is we will never know whose fault it was for not pushing the button.
I know.
No, you can't do that. You don't have no proof.
So if you haven't watched the episode, I need you to go watch the episode.
You have no proof.
I do.
We don't know, Tamaria. We don't know.
Brandy.
We don't know who did not push the button.
We got to move on because I'm about to.
And Janetta said, I don't want to skip past it. She says, that's why I don't drink after seeing what it did to my mother. Same.
That's what's up.
That's why I had to calm it down my own self.
Brandy didn't hit play on the camera. She literally got up, walked over there. She did the motions as if she was hitting the button. She comes back over. Then we start recording.
That doesn't even make sense. Anyways, we
hit play on the camera before we hit record. We hit record on the camera before we hit record on the. You shouldn't went there, Tamaria. You shouldn't have brought it back up.
We told them that we would.
It's beef.
Settle the answer on it. So the answer is
proof.
There's no answer.
This is proof? This is proof that she don't know what she's talking about. Right here. Because she was on the episode like, oh yeah, it's on the recording.
Wait, time out.
No, let me finish my thought. You're doing the thing where you cut me off. No, you stop. I was in the middle of a sentence.
This is important.
I'm in the middle of a sentence.
This is important.
What I'm saying is important.
No,
and you just wait. Just be patient.
I already admitted that I was wrong about that. So you should not go back to that. That's not fair.
I'm going back to it, and you're just going to live with it. And look at this aggressive. Look at this violent point.
I already admitted that I was wrong about that. So you can't do
y'all see this?
That is an unhealthy
Did you try to bend my finger and swipe at me? Wow,
I told you I choose
ma'am.
That is unfair. You can't do that. I said I was wrong. The audio wasn't on.
But if hold on, pause.
Main point was that I don't explain that I'm wrong.
If you would just shush, you'll hear my point. Did you hear on the episode how it was so matter of fact? She just knew that she had hit record and that the evidence for who hit play was there. It wasn't even a possibility. She just said, oh, it's okay. It's on the recording and we'll see. Just like she was wrong about that, but she was so sure during the episode, is how she's so wrong about hitting play.
You're trying to correlate things that aren't really
correlating. You be so sure about stuff that you be dead wrong about.
It might be correlated, but it's not causation. So
you think my name's Brandy? I use big words.
So you're wrong.
Correlation, but not Caucasian. What did you say? You called me a Caucasian? I'll fight you. You said correlation, but what?
Anyway, so
what did you say?
I said it's not causation. One thing doesn't cause the other. They might be related, but they didn't cause that.
You smart. That's attractive. Causation.
That's okay. We beefed out anyways right now.
We are? What?
Yeah.
What I do?
You violated argument rules. Anyway, and then the next thing that we were going to do today is announce the winners of the sweatshirts. Now, we waited all the way. Sorry. She said, Tamaria said, Russell, was on you, though. Period.
Look,
Period.
I don't know why I don't even know why we keep going back into this push the button thing.
Anyway, thank you for the TikTok universe. Anyways, so we picked 3 winners. So go ahead.
For those of people who don't know what we're doing, can you explain just
you got
the winners to what?
Go ahead.
Is it? We good? Hold my hand.
Nope. You
tried to bend my fingers. I need to make sure we're good. Come on. hold my hand.
You made me hit myself.
We did a competition. We did a drawing for the first place is a Target gift card
and a sweatshirt
and a What They Never Told Us sweatshirt hoodie.
Thank you for the TikTok.
And we're gonna do 2 more winners for the hoodie. To enter into this, you had to leave a review on either YouTube or Apple Podcasts, and there's a couple people that did that. So we are announcing the winners right now.
And thank you to everybody on TikTok who's sending gifts in the TikTok universe. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all.
So the first winner is do you gotta Mr. James Bradley.
Fam, your review, you know when you about to cry, you get the little lump in the throat, fam. I got emotional. I was like, yo, he really went in. Thank you for that, bro. Thank you.
Thank you. So give Nikki the gift card and you can have a sweatshirt. And then we were giving away 2 other sweatshirts.
Whoop.
So the winner of the sweatshirts were Mr. K and Bay.
Woo.
So y'all have to send us your size. And Miss Brittany Swint, who left a review and also happened to be one of our top fans for the month.
Go. Round of applause all around.
So send us your Junior. You don't have to send your address. We know how to find you, but send us your shirt size and your address to the What They Never Told Us inbox, and we will get those ordered either tonight if you send it or tomorrow. And then when they arrive, we will be delivering to you. Be picture ready, okay?
That part.
We will be taking a picture with the winners,
and we're keeping it going as well. So
that's selfish.
We're keeping it going as well. So if you still want an opportunity to win some What They Never Told Us merch, Apple Podcasts, leave a review. That's the fastest way to get entered into the drawing. YouTube as well. And with this the season of giving, right?
Yeah, and also remember to like and share and comment and engage with us on Facebook, because we are watching the top fans, and periodically we'll just pick a top fan to bless, Cash App, sweatshirt, gift card, whatever we feel like doing.
That part. Y'all showed out last episode. We peaked at top 103 podcasts in the United States of America, all the way from the small town of Jackson, Michigan.
And I don't know, it might not sound like a big deal, like 103, because at first I was I told him, I said don't post it until we break the top 100, because we was in the top 3 last time, but it is really difficult. There are a lot of podcasts.
You know how many podcasts there are in the world? Like, anybody can you could do it from your phone and post it. Like, it's so many podcasts. And for us, from the ground up, like just building this thing up from the concrete to peak at 103 in our second episode of the season, that ain't no small feat, man. So give it up for What They Never Told Us, man. Come on.
And you can always, I hear Ryan, we will get you want a signed hoodie? We ain't nobody.
Okay. All right, fam.
But if there's somebody who's just like, yo, I don't even need y'all to gift it to me. Like, just give me my size and tell me how much it costs. They are $30. And we will get you one if you want one, if you pay for it.
That part.
You don't gotta wait for a drawing or a raffle. Just come on, get it.
And you welcome, Brittany. Thank you. We appreciate you. All of y'all who support us. Y'all has been on this live, holding us down, engaging with us. Y'all have no idea what it means to us. So thank all of you guys.
Thank you so much, and we will see y'all next time, right?
Yep. Tuesday, new episode. We don't know what it's called yet, but we filmed it. It was so much fun. Like, I'm so excited about the next episode because it was just hilarious.
It was good. It was real good.
Yeah. So y'all will enjoy that. I can't wait for you guys to hear that. Next Tuesday, new episode. Wednesday, as always, we'll be back live. Yeah.
And the countdown was real, y'all. We 3 weeks away from
3 weeks away from the wedding. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be real fun. It's gonna be good. God is good all the time.
All the time.
And all the time he's good.
All right, y'all have a good night. We'll see y'all later.
We love.
Y'all should love too.